For those who don't know what this is, I have joined forces with a small group of developers in my community to make an indie game. We announced it last year and we've put out a few devlogs. You haven't heard from us in a while. We have been hard at work over the summer, just grinding on this game, and this is Devlog 4. I know we've kept you waiting, so allow me to just take a moment to make it up to you.
Got him. Hold on. Shit.
Look, we've had a lot of requests for a demo. We have been hard at work cranking on all of the systems that are going to be in this game, but we put something together for you guys so you can actually play Transience for the first time, or at least just a small part of it. Over the summer, we have been hard at work on getting our AI up to a playable state, and this is our first time being able to actually allow you to test the combat scenarios that you might find in Transience. So we took the demo that we created initially for publishers. This was going to be a side mode in the game. We polished it up, and now we have a demo that you can go download right now. You can play through some combat scenarios with a few different weapons in a procedurally generated kill house environment. Every time you run through, it generates a new layout. You run in, you kill some AI, you can see our new sounds, our new animations, you can see the HUD at work, you can see the new AI in the current state that they're in. Keep in mind, guys, we still have a long way to go. This demo is just kind of showcasing a vertical slice of where we're at in development. There are still some missing sounds. There are still some missing features. We are not feature complete. This is a demo, kind of just giving you guys something to play in the meantime while we develop this game. It's completely free for you guys to download, and this is also going to help us test performance and see how it runs on your guys' systems. Download the demo, communicate with us via our community hub on Steam, and let us know what you guys think. Welcome to Devlog 4. Starting off this devlog, I want to go into our AI and what we've been doing over the summer. So our AI have been completely overhauled, and they're feeling much better than where they were before. It's still work in progress, but it's night and day since we first started development. We also have our cover system working for the AI, so enemies will now crouch behind cover or find wall edges to stick to, and they'll also lean in and out to make them a harder target to hit. They also now react to dead bodies and will communicate to nearby AI when things are going wrong. We still have to flesh out that system more, but we want you as a player to be able to kill them communicating with other AI, and then that'll cancel that backup call. We still need to add a lot of quality of life things to the AI to make them more menacing and intimidating. Things like breathing, random voice lines that play as they're kind of moving around and patrolling, so you can actually hear them if you're around a corner or from short distances. We think this is going to make them a lot more intimidating as you move through these environments. Frinky also added a suppression effect, so you guys are seeing it here in game. When you guys get shot at, it kind of just dims the screen a little bit. Because our environments are so dark, we didn't really want to like overdo it here, so it is a slight suppression effect so that you still have visibility in the darker environments, but it still visibly looks good when you're in lighter shots like this. Still a very early work in progress, but their combat effectiveness has come such a long way, which is why we wanted to showcase it with this demo. The demo isn't about stealthing around and slinking in the shadows. It's about killing motherfuckers. We also added some new AI voice lines that you'll be able to hear in the demo. And for fans of tactical shooters, you guys might recognize who did this VO. Here's some snippets.
Nothing here. Could have sworn there was something here. Ah, fuck, I'm hit! Ah, count around! Ah, that's gonna hurt tomorrow. Friendly down! They got one of our guys! Get that motherfucker! Found him!
Yes, we got Adam 41 Parker, original Tarkov voice actor. He's done some of the enemy voice line work, and once we brought it in, it's ramped the feeling of these enemies up to another level. I can't put into words how much this man brings to a project like this. We were using just like internal voice lines from Frankie. He recorded some, but then actually getting a professional voice actor like 41 on the project has just changed the game for us. Let's talk about gameplay related changes. We've added the ability to sprint while crouched. So this allows you to move around quicker while also remaining a bit quieter than just having to full on sprint. We've brought our slow-mo up to a standard that we are happy with. We have added some new post-process filters for when it's activated. Now we still have to tie this to a consumable that like replenishes the pips of slow-mo, similar to what we're doing with armor and health. So you can't just always have slow-mo all the time. That being said, in this demo that you guys are going to be able to play, you can slow-mo all the time. It's still a work in progress, but we're almost there. Most likely by the time I'm done recording this devlog, that's going to be in the game. We've added the ability to pick up ammo from dead bodies, new ragdoll animation for deaths. I believe we have 5 new types of body dying animations, as well as a ton of bug fixes and cleanup for the player controller and the weapons themselves. Frankie has also brought in all of the customization options for the weapons that are done. Every barrel, suppressor, foregrip, all of that has been brought into engine, textured, and is now working as intended. Let's talk about animations a little bit. Dustin has been hard at work working on a bunch of different stuff here. This is our old sprinting animation. Just recently, actually, he went and updated our sprinting animation to bring it up to a standard we were all happy with. He added a few different movement variations in a nice loop, and it turned out really nice. Shout out to Tango Foxtrot in our community. He brought up the point of our old customization animation. So when we snapped to it, it would just like jump up and it looked kind of janky, and he was just wondering if we were going to do something different. And we were looking at it and we saw people talking about it. Legend chimed in. Here's the screenshot here of the discussion that happened in our Discord. And Dustin again just said, hey, fuck it, give me a day. Let me cook something up. And now we have a brand new customization animation for you guys, and we think it looks a lot better. So appreciate the feedback, guys. Keep it coming. We might not be able to get to everything, but that was a good call. Here is the reload animation for the P90 and the F2000. Now, truth be told, I wanted to have all of the animations done for all of the weapons that you're going to see in game, and I wanted to do a little bit of a showcase, but we ran into some scheduling stuff earlier in the summer, and we just couldn't get it all done in time for this devlog. With that said, I am able to show off the last 2 weapons that will be featured in Transience. So Cody has finished up the weapon contract for the game, and now I can finally say that we have what we're calling the X700i. It is our longer range DMR/sniper that will be in the game at launch. We also have a custom scope that is only available to be used on that weapon, alongside the LPVO that we showed off in a past devlog. The other weapon is the 5.7 pistol, and unlike almost all the other weapons, I think outside of the MP5, we opted to go with that tan color scheme because we wanted to. We also added the engraving 4 dead in 5 seconds, which references the infamous gunfight that happened in El Paso, Texas in 1881. Even though the world we're building is called New Houston and it's a completely different Texas than what we know of now, we still have a lot of references and lore pieces that reference the old days in the old world. Cody also went in and finally colored and textured the bottom half of our Glock. It was done since launch, but when it was imported, it got fucked up and we just never went and fixed it. Figured if we're going out with a demo, we better clean some of this shit up. Things like the shotgun barrels, new texturing done to all weapons to clean up some of the dirt styling that he originally had. He also touched up some of the attachments, like until 3 days ago, we actually never had iron sights on our XM5. And last night they got into engine, done up, pushed to the Steam build, so you guys will actually be able to use those in the demo. He also added this fucking thing, so have fun with that. We do have our first iteration of prone sprint or fast crawl. This is one of the things I mentioned in the first devlog, where if you're laying on the ground and you want to move from point to point a little bit faster, Eli will pull himself a little bit quicker. The problem is right now the animation just plays on a weird loop. We're trying to get it in there, and basically he's just kind of slapping the ground like, this baby can hold so many shell casings. Like, we're trying to get it in. You can sprint while you're on the ground right now. It looks a little wonky, but we'll get there. We also finally got the med pin animation in game, and with that, the ability to pick up med pins and heal yourself is finally in the game. Let me tell you, testing these environments and playing through this game without the ability to heal is rough. Now the game is feeling a lot more balanced. We can actually start to test the pacing of these levels. I am happy to say Dustin's back in the saddle and is working on the new weapons as I record this devlog, so I'm hoping to give you guys a look at that soon. Switching gears from animations over to audio. Now, audio is something that we have struggled with for quite some time. Unfortunately, our main audio engineer, Enmity, had to step out of the project early this year due to scheduling, and we've been trying to figure out what to do. Well, I'd like to introduce you guys to Kabluski, who is an audio engineer who has worked on games like Returnal, Horizon Forbidden West, and God of War. Now, he has jumped onto the project a couple of months ago and completely overhauled our audio. We have spent the last couple of months overhauling all of our weapon foley. So we now have the little clinks and the clacks when you ADS, and we even have it so when you swing the gun side to side, you get little clicks if you move too quick. Now, Kabluski and Flow Beatbox have been working in tandem to basically tear down and rebuild our entire weapon and player systems audio-wise, so on certain events, we can trigger audio cues. Things like last shot, empty mag, turn radius versus speed. They've also been hard at work getting our fizz mats up to snuff. So when you're moving from wood to concrete to metal to carpet, all of the right sound cues play for your footsteps. And with that, they've laid the groundwork out to allow shell casings to interact with different fizz mats as well. So all of these systems, now that Kabluski is in the project, are getting completely rebuilt to support the detail that he's bringing to this game. Kabluski has also redone the weapon firing for every weapon that you see in this demo and then some, which we will showcase all at a later date when the weapons are completed. For now, here's what we got. Earplugs not required. Kabluski is also starting to work within our environments for more ambient noise, as well as specific things like this. When you walk up to a window in our first level, it's raining outside, so he has the sounds of rain tapping on glass, so as you get closer, you can hear it louder and then step away. We're really going in on audio here, and even though it's still early days, Kabluski is cranking on this stuff. Now, speaking of Flow, he's actually been hard at work, basically plugging every hole that we need him to plug for this project. One big undertaking that he's been working on is our objective manager. So we went from having a cube that we can place down that when you touch it, it completes an objective, to having the ability to do so many different things. He set up things like display pointers at a set location to tell you where an objective is on your HUD to help guide the player. Now this feature is primitive right now in terms of visuals. We need Primal to go in and actually make the UI and the HUD element for it, but it works and it really helps guide the play testing that we're doing right now through all of these levels, giving us the ability to set a cinematic on an objective complete or an objective init so that we can instantly transition to a cutscene if something is going on. He also brought in things like input blockers that allow us to disable certain player actions like HUD or jumping or night vision, or if there's a moment in the story where you don't actually have your suit, we can just throw input blockers on that disable those features and you wouldn't even know it. Or if we want you to walk and not be able to sprint after an objective, we can now do that. There are a few instances where for story purposes, we need that to happen. So now we just have much more control over our objectives and the manager that is controlling them. And they also moved from just a location reach objective to things like taking guys out, interacting with our stashes laid around the map for side objectives, interacting with certain objects and doors, being able to pick up key cards that unlock other doors. All of these things are now built out. And like I said, every time we run into a feature that we need to be able to tell this story, Flo just jumps in and he adds the feature in like a day. With that, he's also set up and finalized our sound cue manager to allow us to set dialogue up throughout the levels that plays when the player reaches certain areas. A lot of this has been custom built by Flo himself to add that cinematic touch that you guys are used to when it comes to playing single player games. Now here's an example of the sound cue manager at work. It's a small snippet because I don't want to give away spoilers of the story, but here's what I mean when I say that cinematic single player experience.
Maurice Pagano. I was never particularly pleased with another accountant moving into my little haven. But over time, the guy proved neutral and useful. We only ran a couple of hunts, to be fair, but I trusted him well enough to parse a little more about the situation for me.
That clip is the vibe that we're going for when we're talking about like telling the story through kind of a cinematic lens. We have the narrative audio, we have the present audio happening in the moment, and between Flo on the programming side and Kabluski on like the music and the mix and all of that stuff, we're really now able to start putting on a showcase with the cinematic flavor of this game. Environments has seen quite a few strides. Our underwater nightclub is well underway to being blocked out and starting our art tests. We've just been spending the last month or so trying to get ready for this demo, and now that you guys can play it, we're getting back to the actual game. So this underwater nightclub is a very ambitious level. We have basically 2 levels being combined into one here. You have your tunnel system, which is actually 2 separate tunnels. So the first one is a train that you ride to get to the station that then escorts you into the nightclub. So you guys get this dingy shot of this train tunnel system. You're basically riding a subway to go to the entrance of this nightclub, which is above the water. So you ride an elevator up, you go through security, you check in, and then what they do is they take you all the way back down, and then you ride in this fancy limousine style futuristic car through the underwater tunnel system that then transports you to this platform here that you guys are seeing with the concept art that Marty has done up here. And then that ushers you into the nightclub and bar that you are going to be basically gunning your way through, or stealthing if that's your choice. This is an incredibly ambitious level from a design perspective, and we're just in the early stages right now, but Frosty has most of it blocked out. Once we're done with server facility and the cleanup that we have to do on the other environments, Chris is going to be going full bore into this environment, and it's going to be so sweet. Our server facility environment is finally nearing completion. Chris has done up a metric shit ton of handmade props for this level that you guys are seeing on screen. He's been doing a bang up job, and I know I just said that nightclub is ambitious. This server facility level is fucking nuts as well. The twists and the turns and the layout that Frosty has made, Chris coming through with the props, and the different ways you can move in this environment are just insane. And once we show off our new vent system, you guys are going to be blown away. You guys can see some of the shots here. We have all of the voice dialogue recorded for this level, which has you sneaking through tons of guards and civvies, trying to locate some information that will help you figure out who has put this red listing on your head. Now, the great thing about this mission is you are finally introduced to another accountant in this world named Sadie, who helps you throughout the story. I compare her role in this game to Cortana from Halo, as she is your eyes and your ears and your HQ throughout the game. She is voiced by the wonderful Emma Scherzarko, and here are some voice lines that she's recorded in our live sessions.
Listen, the important thing is figuring this bounty out fast as hell before it gets worse. Before every single stain and slinger in the city gets added to the mix. 'Cause you'd kill way too many people for the collective to ignore at that point.
Oh, what a horrible idea. Cleaning up the city.
That's a joke, right? Eli?
In terms of UI, Primal has been doing a lot of cleanup on the settings menus. He's still waiting for the rest of the weapons to be in-engine, animated, and completed before he starts on the new weapon pickup UI that we had concepted out in the last devlog. And I'm hoping to have more information on that soon. Talking about music, Zach has completed a few more tracks for the game and is also working on breaking out stems for our new music manager that Flo has built alongside Kabluski. So when things kick up and enemies start to fire, the music can shift alongside that action. Like everything else, it's still a work in progress, but if you guys want to hear some of the music that Zach has been working on with a little sexy sax cameo from Endars, an advisor on this project, here you go. And that is a wrap on Devlog 4. And with that, let's talk about where we are currently at in development. We are obviously not launching in 2023, which is why I think the team has been working so hard on getting this demo into your hands. We wanted to give you guys something to play and chew on while we work on the game. This has turned from a passionate little project to something much bigger and much more important. And we understand that a lot of pressure is riding on us to deliver something good for a low but solid price. I get asked on a daily basis when the next devlog is coming. Guys, just know we're working on it. Go enjoy the demo, let us work in the background, and I'll most likely be seeing you guys next year with another devlog, letting you know how we're feeling and where we're at going into 2024. If you haven't wishlisted the game, please do so over on our Steam page. And if you guys do play the demo, please communicate your thoughts over on our community hub and our Discord. This is a huge milestone for us. And even though the demo is pretty limited in scope, I'm psyched to give you guys a taste of what we're making. Thank you guys. All of our links are down below, and we will see you in the new year.